Major 1's available in quarters. Hello, I'm Lieutenant Chris Elmer of the Greeley Fire Department. On behalf of our fire chief and the rest of our department, I'd like to welcome you. We always look forward to meeting new friends and showing them a little of what our department is all about. Most people might not give a second thought to their fire department. That is, until they need it. The Greeley Fire Department is a full-service fire department that responds to over 12,000 911 calls a year. That's a call approximately every 45 minutes, and we're always available. We have 6 staff stations with approximately 100 firefighters ready to respond to any emergency. Those emergencies can include such things as structure fires, emergency medical responses where we provide advanced life support, technical rescue situations, hazardous material response, car accidents, and even the occasional pet rescue, just to name a few. You should realize that your fire department can make just about any emergency situation better. We utilize state-of-the-art fire engines and fire trucks containing the best equipment available. Most importantly, however, these engines contain our most valuable asset, and that's the firefighter. You're about to hear from some of those firefighters, our best and our brightest, who are going to tell you a little bit about life on the job and some of the ins and outs.
Well, the thing I love most about being a Greeley firefighters is the fact that they welcome me in with open arms. I'm a new guy, I'm a newbie, and I feel like they've welcomed me in, part of the family, part of the brother and sisterhood. And being a new guy at an old department, it wasn't like that. You know, they kind of shunned me and looked down on me, but being here in Greeley, I feel like I'm part of the family, even though I've only been here for 6 months. So having them make me feel like I'm an asset to the department and to the community is huge.
Being a Greeley firefighter, my favorite thing is this is my hometown. And so this is where I basically grew up, and I feel like the community poured a lot into me as an athlete all throughout high school, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to give back to this community in some way, shape, or form. And I also like that Greeley has many opportunities to find a specialty, so to speak, in which you can focus, and then the department will support you, you know, whether it be the dive team or ropes rescue, any of that, and you can kind of wiggle your way through and find out what you are super passionate about and what you would really like to spend your time doing.
I think the thing that I like best about being a firefighter in Greeley is the culture that this department has. There's such a positive attitude around here. Every day you come into work, everyone's in a great mood and happy to be here. I also think that the culture here has developed the sense of just doing what's right. In any situation that you're in, regardless of whatever SOP might be there or whatever rule might be there, if you do the right thing, you're going to be okay. They give you that freedom to think on your own. They empower you to be a fireman, they empower you to be a paramedic, and they give you the tools that you need to be the most successful at whatever position you're in here, and I think that's what has helped to develop the culture that this department has.
I'm not gonna stand here and wait. I'll hold on to the wings of the eagles. Watch as we all fly away.
Well, there's lots of different aspects. The physical side of things, obviously you have to be extremely fit and keep that going throughout your career, which is never an easy task. Also being female, I never want to be the weakest link. Females are not always the most welcome in the firehouse. I've never experienced that at Greeley, which is another amazing thing. But yeah, I always want to strive to be better. I don't want to be seen as the weakest link in the team. So I'd say that's probably one of the most difficult things.
Personally, one of the most difficult things for me is being away from my kiddos and my family for 48 hours. You know, you miss out on Christmases. Sometimes Santa comes a day early or 2 days late. Birthdays, same thing. But there's the things that you can't change that aren't flexible. Your kids' graduations, wrestling tournaments, football games, baseball games. So that side for me is the most difficult. I think the positives outweigh the negatives with the job, but if I had to pick one thing, I think it's missing out on some of those family functions and not always wanting to be there.
I think the hardest thing about being a firefighter is being able to continually do your job the best that you can on the times when you're tired. You know, if you've had a real busy set, if you've run call after call after call and they keep coming, and I personally like to do everything the best that I can every time. That can get a little bit trying in your 46th, 47th hour. Aside from that, I think that's also one of the challenges that you look forward to rising to the occasion, so to speak. But that would probably be physically the hardest part.
I enjoy the diversity of the job, the ability to be a teacher in a teaching role, also to be a student. I can attend trainings as a student and learn from our lieutenants and the other people that are in charge of the trainings that day, or be in the teaching role. And then the diversity of the job as far as what we respond to. A lot of medical type things, but we have the traffic accidents, fires. So our job is always changing, always something different each shift. I enjoy the camaraderie of the crew and working as a team to accomplish our goals.
Well, of course, we all love helping people. We all love serving our community and being there for the people when they're in need. But for me, the best part about being a firefighter is being part of that team aspect. I played sports my whole life, and having that camaraderie and that brother and sisterhood around you day in and day out is just something I thrive on. And being able to work in that team setting where we all try to reach a common goal is something that is strong in me. And like I said, I thrive on day in and day out. So being in that team aspect is something I really love.
Being a firefighter is something I wanted to do since I was this big. So to be honest, it's going to fires. That's what I like the most about this job. I've trained, I've put in countless hours to get this job, to try to be good at this job, and when the tone goes off to go to a fire, that's what I like the most about this job. With that being said, the other side of that is the brotherhood in the fire service, and I think it's second to none. Whether you go into a firehouse here in Greeley or you know, out of the state, you get treated as a true brother. Whether they know you or not, they take you in as one of their own.
So have you ever been caught in a sea of despair, and your moment of truth is the day that you say, I'm not scared? Put your hands in the air if you hear me out there. I've been looking for you day and night. Shine a light in the dark, let me see where you are, 'cause I'm not gonna leave you behind. If I told you that you're not alone, and I show you this is where you belong, put your hands in the air one more time.
My advice to them would be to make sure that they do well in school, in high school, and in their education to come after that. And if you want to be a fireman, you know, go to Ames, study there, get on a volunteer fire department, and bring that knowledge that you learn there here, and then expand on it with the guys that you meet here and everything that you learn from them and through your training with them and in the academy, just to expand your career and become a better fireman.
To get hired on a fire department and to be a fireman and in this service, you're held to a different standard. So don't get in trouble, basically. You know, be respectful to others, you know, mind your P's and Q's, you know, don't be out partying, drinking, driving, all that kind of stuff. Just think about some of those decisions that you might make might, you know, in the end you might not be able to be a firefighter because of that.
First of all, most important is take care of your education. Knowing how to be a good student. There's going to be a lot of reading and report writing and mathematics and things like that. So being a good student will carry you far in this job. Being able to interact with people and have good teamwork qualities in your life. A lot of this is medical. We do, honestly, and so I would say get your medical training, EMT, get some experience. There's volunteering with some of the smaller departments around the city, and then start testing. The testing process is a process, and you have to understand the steps of that. The application, the written exam, the physical agility, the interview panel. How are you going to sell yourself for this job? You have to be able to be different through the interview panel to be able to for the chiefs to say, we want to have this person on our department.
I hope you not only enjoyed hearing and seeing some of our firefighters, but I hope you learned a little more about your department. Here at the Greeley Fire Department, we take tremendous pride in serving our community and its visitors. Thank you for visiting us, and I appreciate your time and attention.